A very good morning to all VIPs and valuable guests. Please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Ilip, and I'm the MC for today's MOU signing ceremony. Today will be a memorable day for all of us, as it will be the project MOU signing ceremony between FADO and Sotec. Before the event starts, I would like to invite all guests to make yourself comfortable, as the ceremony will begin soon. For any assistance or inquiry, feel free to comment in the chat box, and we are ready to assist you. Your cooperation is highly appreciated. Thank you. And now, please allow me to introduce today's guest of honor. Yang Berhormat Dato Haji Abdul Halim bin Haji Hussein. YB is a Trade, Industry and Entrepreneur Development Exco and Chairman of Penang Halal International. Ms. Toy Pham, the CEO of FADO and seasoned business developer in emerging and foreign markets. Ms. Liu Yen, CEO of Sotec Solutions and Regional Director of EduLife Malaysia. Mr. Prasad Babu Ramalu, Senior Manager of E-Commerce Department of Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation and BEC Sendirian Berhad. Mr. Chris Doi Tran, the Managing Director of Vietnam Startup Investment Fund, VNSIF. Mr. Fajar Iswan Song, the Chief Executive Officer of Penang Halal International Sendirian Berhad, PH. Mr. Rafi, the Trade Commissioner of Malaysia External Trade Development Corporation. Before we move on, please allow me to introduce the FADO platform. It is a blockchain-based platform that facilitates cross-border shopping by connecting consumers, brands, KOLs, and logistic providers on a decentralized network. Without further ado, let's have a look at FADO's video.
Imagine seeing a product you really like. But you can't find and buy it in your country. What would you do? Shopping sites you found do not provide shipping service to your country. Shipping rates to your country are even more expensive than the product itself. You don't know how to do customs clearance to import the product. The product can be damaged or broken during delivery. FADO Global simplifies cross-border shopping experience for customers through cutting-edge technology, connecting manufacturers with end consumers. Now you can buy everything from anywhere in the world with just one click. FADO innovates cross-border shopping services by eliminating trade barriers and offers a wide range of excellent services at the best price. Proxy Purchasing Service provides a holistic and end-to-end solution, which makes shopping much easier on FADO's platform. Package Forwarding Service provides the most cost-effective international shipping solution, thanks to FADO's worldwide warehouse system. FADO also delivers other competitive services, such as cross-border e-commerce, shipping for overseas livestream, P2P delivery, B2B wholesaling to enhance customer satisfaction as a whole. So what makes FADO Global different from other e-commerce platforms, including Amazon or Lazada? One reason is that FADO is the first e-commerce platform to embrace blockchain technology and adopt cryptocurrency payment with numerous benefits. Furthermore, FADO Global adopts blockchain technology as a game changer in e-commerce, moving FADO closer toward a more innovative, secure, transparent, reliable, faster, and cheaper e-commerce platform. FADO has gradually transformed and integrated blockchain applications into its systems, such as end-to-end track and trace system, product transparency, loyalty program, smart contracts, and secure transactions. Introducing FADO, the native token of FADO Global, to bring newer and better values to FADO's global customers. Customers can buy premium products or pay for logistics services with FADO token. For any transaction on FADO's platform, customers will receive rewards and share network values in FADO token. FADO is going to accept other popular cryptocurrencies, such as Bitcoin, Ether, USDT, etc., as payment options besides traditional payment methods. The great thing about FADO token is that it doesn't lose value if customers don't spend. FADO token renders more incomes for customers through staking, yield farming, and investing opportunities within FADO's ecosystem. Join FADO Global Community, where you can enjoy lower prices, great deals, and earn more. FADO Global, seamless cross-border shopping. Visit fadoglobal.io to learn more.
Let us welcome FADO CEO, Ms. Toy Pham, to give her opening speech.
So my name is Thuy Pham. I'm a CEO and co-founder of FADO Go. So it's my pleasure to be here to present FADO Go to you guys. And as you can briefly understanding about FADO Go from our introduction videos, I would like to give you more insight about the companies, what we are building, and what we have achieved so far since we launched. So please display my presentation. Just give you a bit background of FADO Go. So FADO Go's come from FADO.vm. We are top #1 cross-border e-commerce platform in Vietnam and Cambodia with 1.5 million active shoppers. So we want to create a shopping to earn platform on blockchains and build a global network of shopper, micro-influencers, and brands and logistic companies on a decentralized network. Our vision is to empower users to make money based on their social engagements and eventually strive to become the first social finance decentralized autonomous organization in e-commerce. So next, please. FADO Go platform, we have 3 stages of development. At this first stage, FADO Go is a shopping to earn platform where consumer can shop online from G7 markets and earn loyalty reward in the token for every purchase. And our shopping to earns is ready for consumer to start shopping and earn and get rewards in tokens. We already accepted crypto payments on our platform too. And meaning that crypto user they can spend their cryptocurrency to pay for goods and services on our platform. And this is a real life adoption here for cryptocurrency. So I would encourage you guys, especially crypto, user, you can check it out. Our, fadogo.io to shop and pay in cryptocurrency. And in the next day, we will enable dropping to earn, which will allow people to use our shipping services and then earn the token. And eventually, we will plug in the live streaming platform to let everyone enjoy live shopping and have a sense of entertainment while shopping with us. So next, please. Our business model is innovative by bridging the e-commerce and cryptocurrency with real use case. So through our platform, user can freely shop and earn token in different ways. We not only incentivize buyer, but also support brands, suppliers, merchants, small business, KOL, influencer, logistic companies, and affiliates to participate in our crypto e-commerce. And as I believe there are a few merchants from Vietnam and Malaysia today attending this, virtual ceremonies. So we can benefit you guys, the merchants, from when you sign up with us, and you can we can a loyalty program powered by blockchain for you, and just so that you can increase the repeated sale and increase the customer. You then can hold, FADO token to book KOL influencer for marketing your product, hosting campaign, live shows, and also posting more share for, for your product and your business. Most of all, you can establish your brand community online with FADO Go through leveraging the fan subscriptions of KOL when we work with them. So next, please. Here is to give you an overall pictures of our platform frameworks, how it connect, blockchain with e-commerce and social live streaming technologies. We want to bring shoppers a fully social, integrated e-commerce service together with a newer, better value from the crypto space. So next, please. So what differentiates FADO with traditional e-commerce platform is our tokenomics. So FADO we create like dual tokenomics with FADO utility token and FGT, the governance token for different use case. The FADO token is designed to encourage loyalty from global shoppers who use our platform internationally while increasing the distributions and liquidity of the token. The FGT is designed as a governance token representing the voting power in the ecosystem. It's worth similar like stock or equity, and the shoppers they will be able to earn extra income with FADO Go if they stake either or both. Or the token participates in the key governance votings and pay for goods and services on our shoppings. And in the next 3 or 6 months, we will plan to do another fundraising for the governance token. So the FADO holders will be able, to participate in FGT token sale with special discounts and benefits. Next, please. At the moment, FADO Go's platforms is live for everyone to shop and earn crypto. So we also accept crypto payment in BTC, USDT, Ethereum at the time of speaking. So beside the blockchains, FADO Go constantly deploy, social technologies into our current system and improve user social interaction in order to offer global customer the best, social shopping experience. And unlike the big social media platform, we work as a marketplace. So FADO Goes we set up in a different way with a cross-border e-commerce platform with fully integrated, social integrated shopper-centric design and enhanced post-purchase experience. Our platform will combine the live e-commerce with the use of influencer, cross-border shipping, and community-driven DeFi solution to enable customers to shop and earn in crypto across the world. So next, please. As we born in from an established like business, we have leveraged our existing ecosystem to bring more user to our crypto ecosystem. Now we are finishing the integration with FADO Vietnam, FADO Cambodia, Giao Nhận 243, Polars into FADO Go platform so that these entity can use blockchain-based loyalty system and they can exchange benefits together within the ecosystem. So in the next slide, I will show you how our blockchain enhanced like loyalty system work for FADO Vietnam as a use case. This can be applicable for any merchants who want to set up loyalty program on blockchain with us. Next, please. So here's is FADO Go loyalty system works. The loyalty system will provide loyalty rewards, smart discount, incentive programs, and unit marketing promotion using FADO token with real value. The blockchain technology will transform low liquidity loyalty points with real buying power. As you may know, for a traditional point system, these points don't have liquidity at all, cannot tradable, but FADO token is listed on and traded on the crypto exchange at the moment. So user can convert FADO token into fiat. And in the case of FADO Vietnam, we work out a revenue stream and process flow to integrate its loyalty points into FADO token. And the token can be converted into the vouchers to be used in FADO Vietnam system or it can be used in other partner ecosystem as well. So the token can be also used to upgrade membership level for more benefit, for more discount on the product price, on the shipping rate, etc. So next, please. Since we successfully finished our, ideal initial decentralized offering and launched the FADO token in February this year, we have met some achievements and milestones so far. We have the top Binance Smart Chains, BNB chains, pairs on Dextoon, and top gainer from the coin market cap. We have acquired more than 5,000 token holder worldwide. Our market cap was more than $10 million during the peak time, and we won't sleep on this strong achievement. We continue to work hard to build product and do more marketing and find more, suitable and strong partner to strengthen our communities and ecosystem. So next, please. We will soon announce the completions of shopping to earn product development and more crypto payment integrations with Binance-based, Crypto.com-based, as well as integrations with other e-commerce entities within our group companies. So there are more features coming we will work on, such as AR, VR, creating new way the consumers the new way consumer experience the products and how they impact on their purchase decision. And shopping metaverse, the ability to buy something in metaverse and then take ownership and in the metaverse to our customer. So brand can also join us to build and design like their own virtual store in our meta mall, and we will extend to facilitate the exchange and digital values for real good service and enable brand to sell physical objects and that have the digital and physical life. For example, if a real world factions item will have a digital life as an NFT and which allow its owner to use it for their favorite video game or rent exclusive asset to online community. So with our logistic capacity, so FADO Go ensure the physical product arrive on the customer doorstep with the same certainty as if people had walked in on the shop and then in the shop on the high street and then they can have the product. These are things that we are planning to work and especially we will plan to work with Southex, our partner here today, and we also want to expand our market to more countries, especially Malaysia is a very potential market. So that's why we partner with Southex today, and in order to bring her to Malaysia's market too. So next, please. And beside that, we have a network of KOL influencers, so that merchants and brand can also book through us. So we will help brands and merchants to connect with these KOL influencer when you want to do the live shopping with us. So next, please. So here is our team. So we are founded by a group of experts. So we have a different diverse background from, blockchains, e-commerce, logistic, and banks. So I myself, as I have a banking background, and I have been working in the fintech industry for 5 to 6 years. So we believe that with our strong team, we can grow faster. And it's pretty much the end of my presentations and what I want to introduce you about FADO. Hopefully you guys have more understanding about the companies and have more, have a stronger belief in what we are doing. So can you show the rest of the slides? So this is just the investor and also the partner that we have so far in our ecosystem. So they have support us since day one. So thank you for all these partners and backers. So the next slide, and then yes, this is the end of my presentation. So thank you for listening. So I just pass to the MC to introduce the next speaker. Thank you so much.
Too much to Miss Toy. Awesome opening speech. And now, please allow me to invite the CEO of Southex Malaysia, Ms. New, to come forward to give her speech.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I also want to give a very huge thank you to YB Dato Haji Abdul Halim, the Exco of the Trade, Industry and Entrepreneur Development, for officiating our MOU signing ceremony today. And I also want to say thank to Ms. Tui Pham, the CEO of FADO, Mr. Prasad Badu Ramalu, Senior Manager of E-Commerce, Department of Malaysia Digital Economy Collaboration, MDEC, and Mr. Chris Yichen, the Managing Director of Vietnam Startup Investment Fund, VNSIF, and Mr. Fazil Ewan Som, the Chief Executive Officer of Penang Hala International, and Mr. Rafi, MD Raji, the Trade Commissioner of Malaysia External Trade and Development Collaboration. And thank you for all of guests for joining us today. Can the team show my slide, please? So my name is New. I'm a CEO and founder of Soltech Solutions. We are one of the top SME 100 awards, fast-moving companies in Malaysia. We also one of the partner for Huawei, AWS, UOB ecosystem, and also our Soulmate solution. Next. So this is our young team. We actually is a young and energetic team. We embrace change, and also we wish to drive more companies to smarter digitalization. So we are trying to create and provide also the consultation, implementation, ranging from all the industries, from even F&B, education, and also our recently is our manufacturing sectors. We also provide e-commerce solution and digital marketing to help them to drive the digitalization. Next. So our company is, our core value is one of the key tagline driving smart business. So this is the whole concept of Soltech when we started. We wish that to help more and more SME to digitalize their business, of course, not just local. So we think local and we act globally. Next. Our vision is to build the creative and smart digital hub in Southeast Asia. And the most important is how we connect between Malaysian to the Southeast Asian countries. So how we can bring that product from here to overseas. So this is our main core value that we would like to build, and we wish that to create more digital marketing and e-commerce solution, and of course the ecosystem to make all the employee within the organization in Malaysia to be able to be well equipped with the fast changing technology that we see so far in digital world. It changed non-stop, right? So we wish that we can build a bridge between employees to the companies, and the companies from local to global. Next. So for the past few months, we're working we are actually working towards more in terms of the event management, hybrid event management, and also the digital marketing. So we try to become a trusted brand for many companies, especially for NGO and enterprises in Malaysia. Next. So currently, Soltech, we were one of the companies that we have end-to-end solution. We developed the platform. Platform here can be the website, can be e-commerce platform, can be digital marketing, so-called the solution that we can help the customer. So our digital marketing, when they have the website, the next thing is the digital marketing. We provide SEO solution, all the automation system, Facebook, Google campaign, marketing campaign. Even we manage the customer webinars, because the end goal here is the business matching, how we can connect the customers to the end consumer. So that is our end goal. And of course, e-commerce is very big so-called a division that we would like to put our time into it, because currently right now we have number of our customers to manage the e-commerce, and a lot of them ask us that how we can bring the product from Malaysia to overseas. Of course, apart from the digital marketing campaign, we also can create a lot of other business opportunities, networking. That's why we launched an event management platform. So that part is one of the business matching between local to global. So we also not looking into just Malaysia as the place for the business to expand. We also looking into Southeast Asia, because these are the quick links that we can connect, because we are neighborhood country. That's why today we're looking into Vietnam and Cambodia as the place that we can cross border. We bring the Malaysian to go to Vietnam and also the Cambodia. Yeah, next. So we are one of the leading digital and tech agency from Malaysia. So just now I share with you, so I will go quickly about this. Yeah, next. So tech is one of the end-to-end solution. So if the merchant or any companies, they're looking for the business to grow overseas and also to go cross-border through digital marketing platforms and do other business matching platform, they can come and talk to us, or even you can come and talk to us, because we are not just looking as the companies just a service provider, but we would like to bring together with you, we work with you to grow your brand. So as the merchant side, right, if let's say you are now want to expand into the local market, you also can talk with us in order to help you to manage or digitalize the whole workflow to able to target to the local market. If you would wish to go to overseas, we are here to support. So we are now actually partner with a lot of platform and also partner with a lot of e-commerce platform. Especially today is a FADO Go is one of the biggest achievement that we feel we're able to bring you across to Vietnam and immediately into Vietnam and Cambodia. Yeah, next. So these are the industry we serve so far. Next, yeah. So now I'm going to a little bit on the data side. So in the past few weeks, actually, I did a lot of research in terms of the Malaysian online behavior and also the online shopper. And there's a shift. I can see that there's a huge shift to online for the group 55 to 64 years old in the online shopping. Why I'm keen to look in this role? Because I want to see how Malaysian actually changed their behavior through this timing, especially from the MCO, like moving control, and also the lockdowns. So how the behavior from Malaysian actually shift across to all the online shopping. And this one, we're looking at non-food items. Yeah, of course, the food items, if you're keen, I also can show you the data later on in separate if you request to our team. So you can see that average Malaysian, the age group from 45 to 65 years old, generally all of them actually increase in terms of online shopping. So actually they are ready to shop anything, anywhere. Yeah, next. So upcoming, I want to show more on our e-commerce trend for luxury goods in Malaysia. Why I'm quite keen to look into this segment, because during the lockdown, we also can see that there's a lot of goods or items we would like to purchase, but because during the restrict of the travel, and also there's a lot of SOP into our travel, so that I can see there's a huge shift to these luxury goods as well. So in upcoming in the future, the shopping is luxury goods here is not just like really luxury. For me, it's like the fashion goods or even cosmetic, the leather goods, or even you can see now in the Sephora, you can see a lot of other cosmetic product. But these actually merchant can be able to sell to Vietnam or Cambodia. And also the jewelry brand, whatever brand that based in Malaysia, we also can bring over. Yeah. So next. So the e-commerce trend for buying luxury goods in Vietnam, why I look into it? Because I can also observe that the Vietnamese and also Chinese, Vietnamese, Thailand, they buy a lot of items, the luxury goods from overseas, and they're willing to pay even there's a custom clearance or whatever. So the revenue in the luxury good market up to 2022 is coming to 900 plus million USD. And this industry, I can expect it to grow even more and more. So why not we Malaysian also can set up a lot of goods and items that can sell cross-border. So this part is also one of the highlight today I wish to share, because in the luxury goods market, actually it's contribute about 8% of total revenue, and we don't need to compete with a lot of big companies right now. We try to help more and more merchant into a very niche and specific segmentation. So that is what Soltech and FADO would like to help. So how the merchant from this segment actually can go together with us. Next. So for the e-commerce trend buying, so actually there's previously I used to trend a lot of cross-border manufacturer. So the first thing I will looking into the buying, where is the buyer? Yeah. So the buyer actually coming from US, China, Japan, France, and UK. So there's a huge opportunities for those countries like Vietnam and also Malaysia and Cambodia or even Indonesia to supply the goods to this country. And with FADO and FADO Go, actually they already have so-called the warehouse in UK, US, and also other country. So buying the product with variety of SKU is just a click right now. We don't need to purposely to go there and carry a lot of things and then to shop. We also can sit at home and shop. Then we make our journey more experimental rather than just go there for shopping. Yeah. Next. So I think from there, I just want to conclude about the Soltech and the FADO collaboration. With this MOU, right, we also would like to build many marketing channels. Like for example, the website, we can help them to reach to the relevant channels and create the ecosystem with FADO Go. And upcoming, we will host a lot of AMA session, meetups, and also events, training workshop, airdrop together with FADO Go community. Community in FADO Go here is I'm talking about the investor and also the trader and those who actually keen to look into the cross-border e-commerce and especially for the blockchain technology. Because currently, for the blockchain technology, actually a new term for every one of us. It's not just for Malaysian, but also for a lot of other countries. So from there, we start enabling this ecosystem. We can use more and more types of payment gateway in order to get the buyer to able to access to all the SKUs, and also can have a multiple payment methods for them. And you also can see that the selling actually becoming more and more easier. You don't need to really set up a shop. You also don't need to have brick and mortars. You also can just set up a store with us. From there, you also can sell cross-border. We Soltech, we also have a business matching platform and event management platform. We also do a lot of trade show. So from there, we also can link directly from online to offline, because that is our commitment in terms of the business matching opportunities in the future. How we bring more Malaysian to Asia country, especially for Malaysia. These are my commitments and also our Soltech team commitment to help more merchants to grow. Yeah, next. So actually, this slide also end of my presentation soon. So if you are one of the merchant above and you wish to go together with us or go cross-border with us, just register as a merchant. So as soon the so-called the Malaysia platform is ready and the FADO Go able to support, we will be here to support you in order to help you to grow to the most the top country is Vietnam and Cambodia. You just sign up with us as the merchant right now. So our team will contact with you on the rest of the process. So if you really, for those who are friends who are watching at Zoom or if you really wish to join us as a merchant, or also can help to join our ecosystem, also can type 888 in the chat box. So our team will contact you in a while. Yeah. So actually, it's important that we implement the blockchain technology. So it's not just limited to e-commerce, but also the cryptocurrencies. We apply to every aspect in our life, right? So we make the buying and selling become a seamless process. So I'm confident that this collaboration can bring more benefit to both companies, and we look forward to working together to achieve the mutual success. With that, I'm officially launched our Soltech and FADO collaboration. But of course, apart from that, we also have a few solutions here with Soltech, yeah, for your reference. Next. Yeah, so I think that's wrap up my presentation. So I wish to pass the floor back to our MC.
Thank you, Miss New, for her awesome speech. Please allow me to invite YB Dato Haji Abdul Halim to give his welcoming speech. YB, please.
A very good morning to Ms. Tai Pham, CEO of FADO, Ms. Nu Nguyen, CEO of Soltech Solutions, Mr. Prasad Babu Ramalu, the Senior Manager of MDEC, Mr. Chris Dai Tran, the MD for the Vietnam Startup Investment Fund, and we have Mr. Rafi also from Matrix, and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. As the I would like, first of all, I'd like to congratulate the Soltech and FADO for this blockchain cross-border initiative put together by these two companies, one from Vietnam and one from Penang, Malaysia. And definitely, as e-commerce is growing and with the internet penetration in Malaysia and Vietnam, more and more Malaysians are used to the new norms of using internet, using tablets and mobile apps for transaction. So this initiative by both companies is most welcome. Now, as you know, that the COVID-19, the last 2 years have been very what you call is damaging for many companies, but then there are opportunities created. As we can see, the business has adapt and adopt the online transactions other than the usual physical transaction that many have been used to. So with the COVID-19, it has accelerated the need to use of technology and online transactions. Now, in Malaysia, the cross-border Malaysia and ASEAN countries is growing, and Malaysia also is a party for this RCEP, the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, in which 10 ASEAN countries, China, South Korea, Japan, and New Zealand and Australia are parties, where market access and cross-border e-commerce will be the thing that I believe will benefit businesses for these two countries. So in Penang, we have been a tech state, strong in electronics and electric and electronics, and the state vision for Penang is the Penang being a family-focused state, Penang being a green state, and Penang being a smart state. So e-commerce, online transaction, cross-border transaction is what the state is promoting for its vision, being a smart state for Vision 2030. Now, the use of e-wallet, cashless transactions has now been a new norm for people in the state. And last year, 2021, Penang registered almost 20 billion US dollars in terms of foreign direct investment, especially in electronics and electrical for the closing year 2021. So definitely e-commerce, cross-border e-commerce and online transaction will be the growth area in the future. So just to highlight that Penang also will host its the what do you call this WCIT, World Congress for the Information Technology, that will be held in September this year. So you can follow the update on WCIT, and Penang will be the host. It will be the major event for information technology, and we will welcome all participants and all over the world to come to Penang for that purpose. And also to share, on the 1st to the 3rd of July, the Penang Halal International will be hosting the Penang International Halal Expo and Conference. Just to make a note that in 2019, March, Penang Halal International hosted the first World Halal Blockchain Conference in Penang. That was in March 2019, even before the COVID-19 strike the country. So definitely, as I mentioned, this initiative by both Penang companies, Soctech and FADO of Vietnam, would accelerate and would definitely offer benefits for those businesses in these two countries. Now, I am confident that the continuous collaboration between Malaysia and Vietnam in the cross-border e-commerce will continue to grow, and I look forward that the two countries can work together to make e-commerce a success in the future. So let's both leverage on our comparative advantage, and I believe, and I'm proud that the two companies, FADO and Soctech, has initiated this initiative. With that, congratulations and thank you very much.
Thank you so much, YB. Moving on, please allow me to welcome Mr. Prasad to deliver his speech and remarks about Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation and their Sendirian Berhad.
Hi, thank you very much for joining us. Good morning, almost good afternoon to YB, Dato' Haji Abdul Halim, Ms. Tui Pam, Mr. Chris, Encik Fazil Irwan Som, and also Encik Rafi Razi. Thank you for inviting me on behalf of MDEC today. I would like to start with my presentation, please. Yeah. So before I begin my presentation, I would like to wish all Muslims out there selamat bulan Ramadan, right? Hopefully your fasting is going well. Okay, today I would like to take this opportunity to explain a bit on some of the programs, especially e-commerce initiative that MDEC is organizing this year, or be focusing on this year, right? And but before I go into the programs, e-commerce programs, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce MDEC a little bit to those who are not familiar with. Next slide, please. Right, next slide. Okay, so MDEC, we are basically a government agency under the Ministry of Communications and Multimedia, right? And we are basically leading Malaysia's digital economy, right? So we drive digital economy through, high impact initiative, investments where we encourage tech companies to invest in Malaysia, and also driving policies to really build a robust ecosystem in Malaysia. Right? I'll skip some of the details here because of the time limitation. Let's go next. Okay, so like what I mentioned just now, a lot of our programs are catered around driving adoption in technology, right? So if we look at our main brand that we are driving this year is called Saya Digital, right? So Saya Digital is meant to drive adoption of technology, whether it's e-commerce or whether it's blockchain or whether it's IoT, fintech, any of these technologies, we want to drive the adoption and eventually that will grow the digital economy in Malaysia, right? So if we look at some of the sub-programs down there where I'm directly involved, such as the Go E-commerce onboarding campaign, right? We have e-Resity, where it is really a gig economy play. E-Usahawan touching on rural economies. 100 Go Digital is looking at how 100 companies can grow digital presence. E-Ladang is looking at various technologies such as IoTs and blockchain and all. So there's many programs where MDEC is driving in order for Malaysian businesses to transform using technology. Right? Next slide, please. Okay. So for e-commerce in particular, we are very proud to say that we are the main driver and we are the main driver for the national e-commerce strategic roadmap. Right now, this roadmap is in partnership with 20 over ministries and agencies. It is a roadmap from 2022 all the way to 2025 to look at how we can grow, or we can bring all the ministries and agencies together to grow the e-commerce industry in Malaysia. All right. As you can see, the 6 main thrusts here. The first one talks about seller adoption, how we can accelerate more sellers to come on board. Number 2, we are looking at. Sorry, this is the first NES, a National E-commerce Roadmap. So remember that is the first one. So we talked about how we can grow the e-procurement process for businesses, how we can look at lifting non-tariff barriers. Non-tariff barriers includes things like how do we drive adoption of e-payment, how do we build consumer trust. Number 4, we look at how we can realign economic incentive, things like, for example, adoption incentives that the many agencies are giving out, how we can drive investment of strategic players, into Malaysia to support ecosystem, and also how we can promote national brand. So this was the first National E-commerce Strategic Trust that we launched from 2015 until 2020. Next slide. Next slide comes the growth that we have seen. All right. So if you look at some of the growth that we have achieved, SME adopting e-commerce, we have grown about a CAGR of 39%, right? Of course, with the pandemic and all, we see a bigger number. These are all audited numbers for last year. We have seen increase in number of Malaysian businesses adopting e-commerce export. So more Malaysian businesses are on board international platforms to increase the export. We've seen quite a number of investments coming in from the regional hub players, where we are looking at Malaysia as a strategic hub or strategic location to build their e-fulfillment hub to serve the ASEAN region. And we also see number of rural communities where the addresses has been properly captured and properly categorized. So what it means is, in terms of reaching out to rural communities, fulfillment is even more smoother these days compared to previously. All right. Next slide, please. Okay. With that, what we have done is we have launched the National E-commerce Strategic Roadmap 2.0. All right. This is from 2021 until 2025. Again, we take the growth that we achieved from the NASR 1.0, and we're going to further grow the whole industry for NASL 2.0. If you look at the 2025 aspiration target is we are looking at Malaysia achieving 1.6 trillion ringgit worth of market size in e-commerce, and I believe we are actually looking at increasing that market size because of COVID. Now we are close to achieving that. We are looking at driving at least 875,000 SMEs or businesses adopting e-commerce, and at least 84,000 businesses adopting export via e-commerce. Right. So these are the new strategic thrust that's going to drive this. We are looking at effective e-commerce adoption. So basically, we're looking at different campaigns to basically support the adoption, working with various ministries. Second one is we are looking into further growing our export capabilities. Number three, we are looking at improving our fulfillment capabilities. And number four is a new one. We are looking at spearheading e-commerce innovation. A lot of times, innovation in e-commerce is driven by the private sectors, driven by the trend. I think this time what we're trying to do is we're trying to bring the government. We're trying to encourage that innovation to happen. And number five, with all this, e-commerce is one area where you have a lot of data. So we are hoping to tap the power of data to make more informed decisions. We roll out certain policies and all. We would like to have better data to between private sector and also the government agencies, so that we can look at areas to improve further. And number six, the last one, is to improve consumer and seller protection. I think these are the key main trusts that we feel is important to drive our growth from now until 2025. All right, next slide, please. All right, so I would like to cover some of our adoption programs that we have. Now, one of the things that I'd like to cover is e-Usahawan. Now, e-Usahawan is really I would say a comprehensive hand-holding onboarding program that we provide. We've been running this for the past couple of years right now, and it has been very successful. Now, we target two main categories here. One is students and youth, where we have actually incorporated e-commerce curriculum or e-commerce elements into the IHL's and TVET's curriculum, right? So students who are graduating from TVET's and also IHL, certain IHLs, will already have knowledge, basic knowledge to advanced knowledge on how e-commerce works and all. So we've already put that into the curriculum. And then we also have hand-holding sessions and classes for micro SMEs, especially those in the rural and all, where we actually have we have more than 60 trainers across Malaysia to drive, to help micro SMEs to go online and go and sell online. Right? So these are the classes, and we use our Go e-commerce platform as the main tool to drive adoption. So if those of you who has not checked out the Go e-commerce platform, please go to the Go e-commerce platform. You can register for free, and there's tons of learning materials on our platform. Right? Next. Okay. So as we take, we look at the maturity of an SME going through e-commerce, adopting e-commerce, right? I think what we do is we cover on by stages, right? We have very dedicated trainings for a different stage of the adoption process. So number one is basically just to get found on internet, right? I think it's important for all businesses to be able to be found, to have an internet and online presence. I think that's important. Then we move them up to for them to be able to transact online, so they're able to sell online, and the training becomes a little bit more technical and all. And finally, when they are already selling well, we want to drive them towards export, right? And also a bit of omni-channel selling going on between physical and offline, so offline and online. So these are the path that we take, the maturity path that we take our Malaysian businesses to adopt on the adoption to e-commerce. Next slide, please. Okay. Next, I'd like to touch a bit on PEDAS. PEDAS stands for Pusat E-Dagang Setempat, where we look at many community centers in the rural areas. There's already been set up. So previously, a lot of you all may understand that you have internet centers in the rural communities. Now we call it PEDI centers and all. So what we do is we use these centers, we leverage these centers. We have also more than 100 over centers in Malaysia, and we leverage on these centers to teach rural entrepreneurs on how to go online. And most importantly, also we touch on entrepreneurship skills, because not only just adopting e-commerce, but we also guide them in terms of how to package the product, how to even develop the product, and eventually how to grow the production line now. Because these places are where some of the gems products are, Malaysian products are. So we want to make sure that we are able to uncover more of these entrepreneurs. Next. Okay, so these are the rural and the product centers that we talked about. Next, please. Okay. Now comes to my team's core project this year. Now, for the last 2 years, 2020 and 2021, the government has introduced a stimulus campaign to help businesses go online, especially in 2020 when we were right in the middle of the pandemic, when we were hit by the pandemic. A lot of businesses, a lot of physical outlets were shut down, and there was a strong push from the government to drive the adoption of e-commerce, right? So that went very well, right? We benefited more than 400,000 businesses and drive more than 2 billion ringgit worth of GMV, right? That was 2020. In 2021, the government continued this, but this time we go on to the recovery mode. Again, we work with 32 partners in 2021 to drive the adoption and also to drive sales to businesses out there. Right? There's also an element of export in there. Right? We did very well. We generated more than 7 billion ringgit worth of GMV. Right? And this year we like to continue. We are continuing this with bigger budget, and we would like to focus on specific sectors that is still having issues, such as tourism and all, who is right now on the path of bouncing back to more positive growth. And also we want to look at how we can further grow Malaysian products to international markets, and hopefully to create a more sustainable export market. Right? So the hashtag we're using this time is digital prosperity. We want businesses to grow using digital platforms, digital means. So whether it is an online platform or whether it's wallets, or export partners, we are there to support. So we will basically provide all sorts of assistance for businesses to go online, and at the same time help to drive sales using both the campaigns you see there, Go E-commerce onboarding campaign and also Shop Malaysia Online. Right? Next slide, please. Okay. So what we're looking at this year is the impact that we're looking at. We want to develop the capability of local businesses, right? We want to strengthen the agility of local businesses. We want to build against future aftershocks. So we don't know what will come after COVID. We see countries like China or Shanghai going back into a lockdown again. So these are all very disruptive activities or events that we hope that we can build the resilience for local businesses. And number 3, we want to make sure that we grow the businesses, not only just domestic, but also through export campaigns. And number 4, I think it's important for us to drive consumer awareness and confidence among consumers to spend on e-commerce and also buy from local businesses. Right? These numbers are just a guidelines. We are now still finalizing the targets, and we will announce the new targets. Next. Okay, next comes our e-commerce export program. Now, the Belanja one is one major program. Now, we are also looking at export programs as well. Now, export program is a little bit smaller, but it's very dedicated, very focused. So last year, 6 major campaigns were carried out, right? So the Belanjawan itself, we had 4 to 5 partners who participated and generated 44 million GMV export campaign. And the second campaign that we participated was a G2G campaign for ASEAN Online Day Sale, right? Now this is run together with all the ASEAN countries, and from Malaysia it was driven mainly by Mickey and Matrid, and we generated about 17.2 million GMV. And then we ran a specific campaign to Taiwan last year, right? Because a lot of our food, our snacks and all are quite attractive to the Taiwanese consumers. So we partnered up with CBRI, our counterpart in Taiwan, and we generated quite a good number of GMV. More importantly, for Malaysia side was we got at least 300 SMEs brands out there, so that Taiwanese people are now they know who Malaysian sellers are, and hopefully this year and next year we can see the growth in terms of GMV, right? And we tried number 4, we tried a new campaign to Indonesia, and we got quite a good campaign written for that. Both we participated in UK and also China. Now China one is very unique, where we basically did a change the strategy. So instead of participating in marketplace or platforms like your standard JD.com or Alibaba or Tmall and all, this time we push Malaysian products onto short video apps like TikTok and all, right? So we created an account for them, and we use KOLs or influencers to drive sales, and it was only a 1-week sales campaign, and we managed to drive more than 2.2 million ringgit worth of GMV for them. Okay, and the momentum will continue on this year. So next slide, please. Okay, this is just some success stories that I just want to bring up with you for the campaigns that we run. So you can see, traditionally our durian, our Musanti durian does very well in China, and this time what we are doing is we saw a Malaysian producer exporting frozen durian to Malaysia. The second example of success we see is Geta, our rubber-based product. Now, traditionally Malaysia has been exporting food-based, halal-based products, and also a little bit of apparel as well as Muslima wear and all. But this time we're happy to see that even our mattress, our pillows are doing very well in China, and they got very good response to that. So we hope to uncover more products in the next coming few years, right? And finally, it was a health drink to UK. Now it's very I think a lot of people will be familiar with the Chikang drink. We had very good demand in UK, especially during winter. I don't know how, right? But they kind of like the taste of it, and we have producers who come up with packaging. So if you look at it, a lot of various ministries and agencies actually come in and play a big role in terms of guiding how we drive onboarding, as well as if you look at it, driving the production of it, packaging, the branding. All this is a lot of things that we do in the back end to support our export campaigns. Next slide, please. Okay, so for this year, we're looking at 6 major campaigns. Next slide, please. Okay, so we have kickstarted 2 campaigns really. One is the Eid Mubarak campaign to UK. So this is, and also the Raja Ramadan to Brunei. Now, UK market, we continue the momentum from last year's Winter Carnival, and we hope that more Malaysian products can be pushed to UK market. Not only we are targeting the Muslim communities, there's about 80,000 Muslim, Malaysian, Singaporeans and Bruneians living there, but also we're targeting the whole Europe to also buy Malaysian products. Raja Ramadan to Brunei is a very dedicated end-to-end campaign. We are working with a partner called Jasmine, where we are not only providing a marketplace, but we're also managing their payment and also fulfillment as well. Soon we're going to talk about the 618 campaign. It's also a huge mid-year campaign in China. We're going to be working with new partners to drive the campaign. And then the Asian Online Day Sale will carry out in August. It's G2G. Malaysia Select to Taiwan, we're going to intensify this time. We're going to hopefully we can pump in a bit more budget to drive more GMV. And finally, we will end this year with the Malaysia Flavor campaign to Turkey. Now, this is also a new market that we're going to penetrate, Turkey, and we hope that we will be able to find more products, more Malaysian businesses benefiting from these campaigns. All right, and these are just our plans. So one of the things that we can do for businesses out there, you can come into MDEC website. We have a landing page. You can register at our Gold Commerce platforms, and we will reach out to you. We will also be conducting a lot of outreach events. I think last month we were active in Sabah and also in Klang Valley promoting our campaigns. We will also be promoting our digital platform partners, and then we will also be working very closely with supporting partners. We hope to work with here Penang government, Dr. Rajiv, your ministries and all your state government to drive more outreach events to channel businesses to our programs. And also those who participated in MBEX training program, you can then participate and hopefully you can get on board. And we will really want to look at how we can drive sales, expand the market, and of course, if you are successful, we would like to also promote you as an inspirational story for the rest of them to play. Right? Next. All right. So we are not only we like to look for new merchants, but also we also like to look for new partners out there who can enable these supporting partners. We have 2 QR codes that you can scan. It will take you to a Google form where you can register, so that at least we can then when the campaign actually starts, we can reach out to you and we can basically work together, collaborate together. All right. And with that, I think this is my last slide. I'd like to say thank you for the opportunity and hope to see you guys soon.
Thank you, Mr. Prasad. Now, please allow me to invite Mr. Chris Doi Tran to give his speech on the introduction about the Vietnam Crypto and Blockchain Landscape 2022.
Good morning, everyone. It's very good to hear all of these, positive development from both Vietnam as well as Malaysia side. Because I myself also consider Malaysia as my second kampung as well. I live and work in Malaysia a couple times and over the years in the past 5-10 years as well. Currently, I'm the managing director for Vietnam Startup Investment Fund, but at the same time, I'm also co-found and advise numerous blockchain and crypto projects, not only in Vietnam but also internationally. So today, I think just to go on with what FADO as well as Soltech has been doing on a very great note. I would like to share that Vietnam, in the last year has been one of the very bright spot regarding blockchain technology and product development in the region as well. However, I will share a little bit about the quick difference between Vietnam and Malaysia and even Thailand in terms of crypto regulation as well, so you guys can understand. But basically, right now in Southeast Asia, outside of Singapore, which are quite open for all sort of regulations, right now only Malaysia and Thailand currently regulated crypto exchange in Southeast Asia. For Vietnam, the case would be that cryptocurrency currently completely banned as payment options locally, and the crypto exchange or crypto activities are not actually regulated yet in Vietnam, meaning that it's not entirely illegal to have those, to run those activities on the ground. However, there are no certain, like protection from the government, or any rules or regulations, to protect the investor, because simply the industry is not regulated. Um, Despite all of that and the regulation, the current regulation, however, in end of 2021 and early 2022, I think Vietnam has made a very big push, for in regarding of, creating and producing a number of very good projects. I think last year one of the project that actually pushing the brand of Vietnam blockchain landscape globally, which is the Axie Infinity games, which I call the GameFi Generation 1.0 from Vietnam. Last year, 2021, I think Vietnam also pushing and issuing a number of, like 2.0 generation of GameFi as well. And I'm expecting these GameFi project to have even better gameplay, better design, and very good know-how, from the game creation itself. And we also observe a very interesting trend that also traditional studio also jumping into these, like new development of GameFi. As you may know, Vietnam has been known for quite a good gaming, traditional game, studio production. One of the first unicorn, startup unicorn from Vietnam was Vina Game, or VNG. They are actually originally come from a gaming production background before they grow into a very big conglomerate, which have like payment, which have digital product, which have social network and stuff like that. So if something I can say about the Vietnam blockchain market, the market itself know how to create very good gaming projects. So that's one thing. And then we start seeing a number of more traditional and more practical usage built on blockchain, and FADO Go is one of them, which enabling e-commerce, especially cross-border e-commerce, like between country and country, and some other very good example as well. Recently, I think one of the interesting trend coming out of Vietnam, and we start seeing a small number of project being built on that particular example, which is a new trend called move to earn. So basically, you can think of it like you walking and exercising, uh, uh, to earn crypto, for example. So it's one of the newest trend, coming out in the globe. And currently, Vietnam, we have about one or two startup already doing it, and already have a product developed for that. Um, Landscape wise, I think in 2022, I hope this is the year that the government start looking very seriously into the crypto regulation, because it's look like they don't have any way to step back, because the number of project has been able to raise money, the number of crypto or blockchain project being homegrown from Vietnam. So the longer the government wait to regulate all of these things, the longer we're gonna suffer from all of the benefits that these amazing emerging product can bring back to the country. A very interesting statistic that I think crypto project made in Vietnam, just only in the last 6 months of 2021, I think we raised roughly at least $500 million, and none of these amount actually currently being sit inside of Vietnam at the moment. So most of the funding the entities, they will keep it in either in Singapore, Hong Kong, or BVI, something like that, because just the local law, it doesn't really have all of the fundamental framework to help the startup to really keeping their money on the ground. So I have worked for Infinity Blockchain Ventures, which is a Malaysian headquarter base a couple years back, and I are still working very closely with a lot of the team members from MDEC as well. And I hope in the near future that we continue to see more and more collaboration between Vietnam and Malaysia. And by the way, actually, not very related to e-commerce, but I think we were one of the first, like Vietnamese companies set up in Malaysia and deliver a traceability on blockchain project for Harumanis mango. In all the way in Kedah, I think, something like that. So congratulations, Farogo and Soltech, and also everyone involved in this amazing collaboration. That's it, I think, for my very quick sharing about the crypto landscape in Vietnam.
Thank you, Mr. Chris. Now, we will continue with the MOU signing ceremony between FADO and Soltech. Please have your pen ready. And now, I will ask our signatory to sign. Congratulations to FADO and Soltech as they embark to a new journey. Thank you very much. Let us have a quick photo session to record this memorable moment. 1, 2, 3. Thank you so much. Next, we will proceed with the panel discussion session. Before that, we will have a gimmick session for you to join, whereby we will choose 20 winners and stand a chance to win total rewards worth 360,000 FADO tokens. Please take out your phone and scan the QR code showing on the screen now. You just need to do a few simple steps by subscribing to FADO and Soltech YouTube. Give a thumbs up for FADO and Soltech's Facebook, and don't forget to share our live stream in public mode, and also follow FADO on Twitter. Once completing the mission, selected winners will be notified within 7 days. Now, let's proceed with the panel discussion. I will pass the session to our moderator, Mr. Tony, Digital Marketing Manager from Soltech.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Hello to Miss New, Miss Dwayne, and also Mr. Prasad from MDEC. So thank you for joining us today. But of course, not to forget, I would like to thanks to our YB, Dr. Haji Abdul Halim also, and also Mr. Chris for joining our session just now. So thanks to them. All right. So how are you? Oh, everything's. This is so exciting.
Yes,
you can see,
excellent.
yeah. So the we have started our energies here. So let's have the FADO go into Malaysia. Okay, so since this is a panel discussion, of course, just now I have watched all the show, and I do have some questions to ask everybody here for your inputs. All right, so okay, let me start with Miss Dwayne first. All right, shall we? Mr. May I
Yes.
ask, why is international trade is so important? Can you give us some of your inputs?
Okay, thanks for the questions. International trade is actually very crucial because it allows countries to expand their markets and also access to the goods and services that are not available domestically. Thanks to the international trade, so actually the production price, the production cost is actually, more competitive and its result, in bringing cheaper product from home to the product from home to the customer. And as you may aware, the global e-commerce market is about like 5 trillion US dollars, and the cross-border e-commerce actually account for 20% of the global e-commerce, and the growing cross-border e-commerce market, I mean, like it should come no surprise. It's gonna be given, the because of the global natures of doing the research and discovery product online, new brands, and increase of mobile adoptions and the mass e-commerce adoption. So that's why the cross-border e-commerce actually growing really fast. And FADO goes we operate in this market, and we believe it's continue to grow, and the numbers of the B2B cross-border transaction finalized on blockchains also increase dramatically in the following years. So that's why blockchain, as we believe, is also quite like promising landscape for cross-border e-commerce transactions.
I see, I see. So, as we can see that actually the blockchain technologies, okay, the trade, especially international trade is actually getting more and more. So, actually, here's come to the second question, which I believe most of the businesses will be actually how to say, they are more interested with, or they want to know more. Okay, so the next question that I have now is what is the benefit, the primary benefit of the trade? So this one maybe Miss New, can you try to give some of your inputs?
Thanks, Tony, and thanks, Ms. Thuy, for your input as well. I think that is very important for us to do trading, because for my opinion, right, I feel that trading is to help us to increase the so-called that the economy of scale, and also can help us to reduce the cost of production. So end of the day, the end consumer will have a better choices and better prices. They will also have a better, so-called that in terms of the product SKU to choose. They have a variety of SKU to choose. So for me, right, trading, we must need to focus because it's also increased the employment opportunities in the trade level. And for the merchant side, they also can bring more, products, and also can give more choices to the consumer. They also can do more in the import and export in order to give them a better choice or better SKU volumes. Yeah.
I see. Okay, so yeah. So next question I would like to ask is what are the problems or the difficulties in the international trade, especially for these the new startup or maybe the new businesses who are still local and they are going to worldwide. All right. So maybe Mr. Prasad, can you give us some of your inputs about what are the difficulties that they are facing right now?
Sure. Thanks, Tony. Well, we've been running export program for so many years right now, and the problem still remains the same problem. So the first one is basically, different markets has a different way of doing business over there, right? No market is basically the same, right? So SMEs out there who are looking at targeting certain countries, they will have to make sure that they know the market very well, the customs requirements, and the way the products are being marketed is very different. For example, if you are going to Singapore
or US versus China, for example. China, they are all more into short video apps these days. What else? If you go to markets like US or UK, the consumers over there, they like more information. They need rich content for them to buy, right? So that's the first difficulty that we understand. Now the second one is basically the distance as well, right? Now, because when you do cross-border trading, the time difference and also the distance that the product has to travel, all this you have to take into consideration. And if you go to markets like US, for example, when it's daytime over there and nighttime over here, but when consumers are asking questions, you have to be able to make sure that you are able to answer, even it's midnight in Malaysia, right? They want fast response and all. The third one we see is the language barriers. Right? We enter markets such as Middle East or even Thailand, for example. Right? The Thai language is very, very strong. The Middle East markets are very strong. Although they are able to read English, but you will have to make sure that you know how to describe the product in that particular language. Right? So that's very important. And the fourth problem that we see that is coming up is basically the payment side, right? Now, a lot of we see that a lot of our merchants sometimes they get caught in exchange rates, right? A simple thing as exchange rates, right? Exchange rates keep changing, So especially when you're participating in large campaigns, let's say such as the Black Friday sale, right? Or Cyber Monday, Christmas sale, where you need to really, really strategize your price point, and sometimes the exchange rate can be not forgiving, and you might go into losses. So you have to be very careful with that as well, right? I think in terms of transferring payments from different markets, I think that a lot of technology over there is able to help us. But these are some of the challenges that the SMEs must look at. So, and of course, the next one is on the changes in market, right? Even in Malaysia, you can see before MCO and after MCO, the way the consumer behavior has changed a lot, right? So SMEs who are selling to specific markets, they need to know what are the changes, what are the new technology that's coming out, what are the new trends that's coming up, and they have to keep this in mind. And finally, what we see is the trade facilitation challenges, right? Such as customs, importation restrictions. Sometimes the policies may change where you may need to do a different type of declaration and all. So these are is part of the supply chain process, but you have to take into consideration all this, and you have to always be on the know. What are the new policies that the countries are signing in? Especially now that we have Malaysia just signed the RCEP, and also we have 14 FTAs in place right now. So you will need to know how each FTAs is contributing towards your export campaigns, your export strategies. Right? Thank you.
I see. Okay, so the time zone, the language, the trend, the company policy, there are a lot of things that we need to take care of. Yeah. So for those businesses to in order to send their goods to export out to international markets. Of course, we also have like a third-party platform who is already ready to help these businesses, to help them to sort out all this, the policy part, and then they can show some analysis for the new coming trends, something like that. And also sometimes they have like customer support with multiple languages who can actually support them to sort out, the businesses. At least they can communicate with others people with different languages, right? So Okay, so next, because of the time issue, so I will cut this session short. I'm actually welcoming all the audience in the Facebook or in the Zoom. All right, if you have any questions, please put up your question right now. So I will choose one or two to ask the speakers over here. Right. So my next question is, which I want to address to everybody here. Right. What are the criteria of measuring the gains? Okay, from the international trade. So meaning how are you going to measure the gain? So maybe we start with Miss New first.
Thanks, Tony. So for the gains here, actually, for me also the production cost is the most important. So for the consumer, actually very simple. What I'm looking at is lower costs. Yeah, items. The item can be able to reach them in the lower cost and better quality. So with international trade, actually can help us to gain our know-how. That is why SoTech also partner with a lot of e-commerce platform, a lot of cross-border platform, because we believe that the collaboration is the first step. But the second step is how we exchange our technology, how we exchange our know-how, how we exchange our knowledge, and then we can create a better product for the customers. So end of the day, end consumer, even from anywhere in the world, they also need to look into two things. First is the cost, second is the quality. So that is the important part that I want to address like today. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Miss New. Miss Trey, any input from your side?
I think it's actually is how to say it's economic question. So there's a three criteria in order to measure it. It's like differences in comparative cost, the increase in the levels of national income, and the term of trade. It means on the economic level, so that is the criteria to measure international trade. But from FADO side, as we are cross-border e-commerce, so what we want to address in the international trade challenge, and also how we can measure, like improve the international trade, particulars in the international payment. So how we can make the international payment faster, and that's why it's important if we have like an effective cross-border payment solutions for cross-border trade. So that's why we focus on bringing the cryptocurrencies, because we believe cryptocurrency has gained interest and adoption from major brand and marketplace and payment processors, and in order to address the cross-border challenge. And even though the cross-border, like even though cryptocurrency and blockchains could face like significant hurdles when they come into the traditional finance and international trades, but I believe it will eliminate the friction points. It's going to be the key to the roles and adoption of cryptocurrency as international payments on a global scale.
All right.
Yeah, that is my take.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Train. So the labor cost, the international payment. So coming soon, we can see that the cryptocurrency could be probably replaced, or maybe one of the options for the international trade. All right. So next, may I ask Mr. Prasad as well? Any input from your side of the criteria of measuring these gains, Mr. Prasad?
I think Ms. Liu talks about how they can export through at a reduced cost and also effective cost wise. And Mr. Liu talks about how digital platforms can enable payment and all things, right? I think from the government perspective, for us, export is a very important measurement metrics, right? We look into two major things in terms of how many markets can Malaysian products penetrate, right? And that's very important in terms of branding Malaysia to the global market, and also what's the growth of our export in terms of revenue, right? And also how that revenue can grow on a sustainable manner. Those are the major things that we look at.
All right. So the how to bring Malaysia to a global market, and also the revenue, how to make sure the revenue is growing actually when we go to international market. All right. So thanks to all. Let me do a quick summary of our panel discussion. So just how we have mentioned about the production cost, right? We have to lower down the cost, and also the exchange of technology, the labor cost, of course, coming to the international payment gateway, the cryptocurrency, and also how to bring Malaysia to the global markets. So all these things are actually, is a key to bring our SMEs, our businesses to a global market. All right. So let me take a look at the floor if anybody is asking any question from Zoom. All right. Okay, seems like everyone seems to be good. So of course, I would like to, for everybody who watching us live right now in the Zoom or in the Facebook, feel free to drop us any questions in the comment or in the chat box. Our team will actually come back to you later on. All right. So that's all for my session. For our session for today, I would like to thanks again to Ms. New, Ms. Tue, and also Mr. Prasad from MDEC. Thanks for your time for joining us today. All right. Passing back to our MC.
Thank you so much, Tony.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks to our VIPs and panelists. Let's have a quick photo session to record this memorable moment. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Thanks everyone. Now, the ceremony has come to its end. Once again, thank you everyone for gracing our ceremony with your presence. We truly appreciate it. On behalf of the organizing committees, I would like to apologize if we have made any mistake throughout the event. Lastly, I wish everyone have a nice day. Thank you.